Welcome to the world of professional dental materials made by OLIDENT. You will find out what makes OLIDENT products special, how to use them, and how they can change your everyday work. OliSil Soft is an silicone impression material intended for hand mixing. Thanks to its particularly soft initial consistency, it works perfectly as the first layer in double mix technique. OliSil Soft is an impression material that needs to be mixed by hand. However, this can be the most convenient solution for occasional impression taking. It is easy to move and no investment in a mixing machine is required. OliSil Soft users emphasize its ideal initial softness, which allows convenient, fast and precise mixing of the material. Additionally, the material offers no resistance when taking an impression. This way, patient's comfort is improved. OliSil Soft's final hardness of 65 in Shore A makes it possible to release the impression from the oral cavity easily. On the other hand, thanks to the so-called shape memory, the impression is not deformed during the removal of the tray with the cured material. The reproduced details are perfectly kept. OliSil Hydro is an extremely fine-flowing silicone correction impression material for use in all impression techniques. Its versatility and reliability have made it one of the most trusted impression materials on the market. It is highly flowable during application, but at the same time it does not flow down from the preparation side and does not drip. If necessary, it is enough to apply a small force, for example blow air from the unit, to ensure that the material reaches the desired place. The result is an extremely detailed impression followed by perfectly matched prosthetic restorations. OliSil Hydro displays excellent affinity to moist surfaces of teeth and the mucosa. The pressure buildup displaces residual water and saliva, and the hydrophilic properties of the material ensure that it flows into even the most inaccessible places. This guarantees highly precise reproduction of details, especially with regard to subgingival areas. Hydrophilic properties are perfectly illustrated by the so-called wettability test. It imitates the behavior of an impression material in the moist oral cavity. The active surfaces in OliSil Hydro reduce its surface tension in contact with a liquid. The lower the tension, the better the material reproduces details in the moist environment. Other factors determining the quality of the impression taken include the resistance to tearing and deformations when removing the tray with the cured impression material. OliSil Hydro meets these requirements, hence protects the smallest details of the impression. The procedure for taking an impression of teeth 2.5 and 2.6 prepared for aesthetic crowns. When working with silicone impression materials, remember not to use latex and powdered gloves, because contact with sulfur compounds may affect the bonding process. Border lock is a special impression tray that acts as an individual impression tray in one-step impressions. Optimally matched shapes and sizes as well as closed rear edges allow for the necessary increase in the stagnation pressure of the impression material. As a result, the impressions are highly precise and the consumption of the material is up to 40% lower. The border lock set includes a special size gauge which makes it easy to select the right tray. In the case of the maxilla, measurement gauges should rest on the second molar and the second premolar from the vestibular side, and in the case of the mandible, from the lingual side. A measurement should be transferred onto the attached template, which allows selecting the correct tray number. We recommend checking if the given tray does not compress the mucosa inside the oral cavity. border lock tray should be covered with a special adhesive for silicones, which increases the adhesion of the impression material. OliSil adhesive has been used in this case. The short drying time of the adhesive allows you to proceed immediately to the next stage of the procedure. We recommend Oli Orange for removing adhesive and impression material residues from impression trays. The product can also be used to remove remains of gypsum, cement, and other impurities from any dental instruments. The OliSil Hydro packaging contains 2 cartridges with the impression material, mixing tips, and intraoral tips. The OliSil Hydro cartridge should be placed inside a dosing gun with a mixing ratio of 1:1. The cartridge protection cap should be removed and discarded, and mixing and intraoral tip attached. The used mixing tip with the cured impression material will serve as a plug. The OliSil soft packaging contains 2 jars, one with the base material and the second with the catalyst and 2 scoops. The one-step technique is much faster than the 2-step technique, but it requires assistance when preparing the impression tray with the first layer of the impression material. Use the scoops to dispense equal amounts of the base material and the catalyst. It is best to mix the impression material with the fingertips, as these are the coldest parts of the hand. Mixing in a warmer central part could unnecessarily speed up the setting time. After a maximum of 45 seconds of mixing, the OliSil soft material should be transferred to the tray. Impression accuracy depends mainly on the light viscosity wash material. It is important to prepare space for OliSil Hydro in the tray material. This will prevent it from being pushed out by the heavier tray material and will have a significant impact on the quality of the impression. During the first use of the OliSil Hydro cartridge, squeeze out approximately 2 cm of the material and discard it. This will allow leveling of the base material and the catalyst in the cartridge. When syringing, make sure that the mixing tip is always submerged in the material. This will prevent the formation of air bubbles. If necessary, you can gently blow air to move the impression material to a desired location. The OliSil Hydro impression material should also be placed into a previously prepared space in OliSil Soft. The tray should be inserted gently and uniformly into the oral cavity, parallel to the entire dental arch. Any other method brings about the risk of multiple voids. Hold the tray in place until both impression materials have hardened. After 3 minutes, the impression tray should be removed and rinsed with water and then disinfected. The impression is ready to be sent to the laboratory. Excellent detail reproduction and dimensional stability of the cured impression guarantees perfectly matched prosthetic restorations. The properties of OliSil impression materials are appreciated by both dental practitioners and technicians. Visit our YouTube channel or our website at www.olident.com to learn more about all OLIDENT products.